and 0810-634-1777.
This event is proudly sponsored by the Last Mall Hotel and Resort with Atlantic Television Network and 99.5 Wish FM Port Harcourt, Lesuka Event Center, Gate Place Hotel, 8 Ball Hotel and Lounge, Oma Studio, Osgia Table Water.
Remember that every child is unique. See you there. This event is managed by Pace Expressions Arts.
Special guest appearance, Hilda Dokubo, Children's Day Celebration 2024.
And now the details. Attacks on health workers, hospitals and clinics in conflict zone jumped 25% last year to their highest level on record, a new report has found. While the increase was largely driven by new war in Gaza and Sudan, continuing conflicts such as Ukraine and Myanmar also saw such attack continued at the relentless pace, the Safeguarding Health in Conflicts Coalition said. Researchers recorded more than 2,500 incidents of violence against or obstruction of healthcare in 2023, including the killings or kidnappings of health workers and the bombing, looting, and occupation of hospitals. The coalition called for national and international prosecution of war crimes and crimes against humanity involving attack on the wounded and sick, health facilities and health workers. It identified 2,562 incidents of violence against or obstruction of health care in conflicts in 2023. Those include 685 cases where healthcare workers, including doctors, nurses, and ambulance drivers, were arrested or kidnapped, and 487 instances where being held had killed, almost double the number in 2022. In other cases, health facilities were damaged or destroyed by both government forces and non-state armed groups. Those facilities were also increasingly occupied or repurposed for military use in violation of humanitarian law, the report found. The figure should be considered underestimated because it is difficult to get information from conflict zone, the researchers said. They identified 11 countries and territories where children's health services were affected, including the bombing or occupation of the Nansar Children's Hospital in Gaza City, Joanna Mao Center for Children with Cancer in Khartoum, and Khorasan Regional Children's Clinical Hospital in Ukraine. Long-standing conflicts have accumulated and lasted effect. The report aimed leaving little or no functional health system even after the violence ends. Kenyan Special Forces police who have spent time battling all Sabot fighters in East Africa are expected to arrive in Haiti in the coming days, as the U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken warned the Caribbean countries was on the precipice of becoming an all-out failed state. A small advanced group of Kenyan officers, part of the large NU-backed multinational security support mission designed to stabilize Haiti's after months of mayhem, landed in the capital, Port-au-Prince, late on Monday as the city airport reopened nearly 3 months after the gang uprising forces is to close. Kenyan media reports said another 200 officers were due to arrive late this week, with their deployment coinciding with the state visit the country's President William Ruto is making to the U.S. A total of about 1,000 Kenyan agents are expected to join the mission, as well as officers from Chile, Jamaica, Grenada, Portugal, Burundi, and Chad, Nigeria, and Mauritius. A senior officers from Kenya's Interior Ministry told the Geneva-based civil society group Global Initiative Against Transnational Organized Crime that they face both hit the ground in the coming days. This time we are serious, the officials was quoted as saying. Appearing in Washington, D.C. before the Senate's Foreign Affairs Committee on Tuesday, Blinken claims there was an opportunity now to achieve enduring stability after decades of turmoil. Blinken said the reopening of the RT airport was a clear sign of progress and anticipated U.S. carrier would resume flights there in the days ahead. The first Kenyan officials to arrive will reportedly come from an elite paramilitary unit called Somalia. They are no strangers to violate armed actors, report the Global Initiative Against Transnational Organized Crime. Some observers have welcomed the long-delayed deployment as a major step towards bringing peace to the country that have launched deeper into violence since the 2021 assassination of its then-president, Jamal Mosil. Blinken said U.S. support for the multinational mission was critical to restore order, prompting hospital. We cannot go back inside to them. We really never imagined that one department will be hit. The emergency department provided service for children, the elderly, and the people inside the departments of the hospital. The Israeli military said it had seen reports of the incident, which it said was under review. The IDF is looking into the source of the heat and is reviewing the possibility that it was IDF stray fire that was not directed at the hospital. It said in a recent reply to question on the incident. One man was filmed cuddling that's looking into the newborn resident said in a military operations that began almost 2 weeks ago. Israel said it has returned to the camp where it had claimed to have dismantled Hamas months ago to prevent the militant group that controls Gaza from regrouping. In a roundup of its activity over the past days, the Israeli military said it has dismantled about 70 terror targets throughout the Gaza Strip into military compounds, weapons storage sites, missile launchers, and observation posts. Palestinian medics said Israeli missiles struck the emergency department of Jamal's Kamal Adwan Hospital, prompting panic staff to rush patients on hospital bed and stretchers to the rubble street outside. The first missile, when it hit the entrance of the emergency department. We tried to enter, and then the second missile hit, and then the third hit the building nearby, said Hazana Abu Safia, the head of the hospital. We cannot go back inside then. An emergency department provided service for children, the elderly, and the people inside the departments of the hospitals. Residents and medics said Israel's tank were besieging another Jamal hospital, Al-Awada hospital, for the third day. In Geneva, WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus said northern Gaza sick and wounded are running out of opinions. These are the only two factional hospitals remaining in northern Gaza, Trudeau said, ensuring the ability to deliver health service in his imperatives. More than 35,000 Palestinians has been killed in the war in Gaza, which is now in its 8th month, according to the Gaza's health ministry. At least 10,000 others are missing and believed to be trapped under destroyed buildings, he said. Israel is seeking to eradicate Hamas after militants from the group stormed into South Israel on October 7, killing 1,200 and taking more than 250 hostage by Israeli terrorists. The Irish government is to announce the recognition of the Palestinian state on Wednesday, a move strongly opposed by Israel, a source familiar with the matter said. European Union members Ireland, Spanish, Slovenia, and Malta has indicated in recent week that the plans to make the recognition possible is a coordinated. The effort comes as the mounting the toys in Gaza from Israel's offensive to rouse Hamas prompts call globally for the ceasefire and lasting solution for peace in the region. Since 1988, 139 out of 193 UN member states have recognized Palestinian statehood. The Irish government has said recognition would complement peace efforts and support for two-state solution. Israel's foreign ministry on Tuesday warned against the move, saying in a post on social media platform X that recognition would lead to more terrorism, instability in the region, and jeopardize any prospects for peace. Don't be a pound in the hand of Hamas, the military said. Hamas hold around 125 hostage seized during its cross-border rampage on October 7, which killed 1,200 people, according to the Israel tallies, and triggered the war. Gaza medical officials says more than 35,000 have been killed during the Israeli offensive. The Irish government on Tuesday evening said the Prime Minister and the Foreign Minister will speak to the media on Wednesday morning, but did not say what the topic would be. Thousands of Iranians turned out to mourn President Ebrahim Raisi in the city of Tabriz on Tuesday after he was killed in a helicopter crash near the Azerbaijan border at the weekend, along with his foreign ministers and 7 others. State TV broadcast live image of mourners, many of them dressed in a black, beating their chests, while a straw cover is white flowers covering the casket wrapped in the national flag was driven slowly through the crowd. Everyone has come to bid farewell to the mighty president and his companions, regardless of their faction, ethnicity, or language, said Tabriz lawmakers Mosoud Pezehikian. However, although state TV said a large crowd appeared in Tabriz, some inside sect attacks contrast Islamic Republic 45 years history. While Iran proclaimed 5 days of mourning for Raisi, there was little of the emotion rhetoric that accompanied the days of Hossein Osselemani, a senior commander of the elite Revolutionary Guard killed by the U.S. missile in 2020 in Iraq. Those funeral draw huge crowds of mourners weeping with sorrow and rage. Raisi's body was flown from Tarish, the closest major city to the remote crash site, to Tehran airport before handing over to the Holy Shati Muslim city of Qom. From there, it will return to the capital to lie at the Tehran Grand Mosala Mosque before being transferred to the hometown of the Mashhad in eastern Iran for burial on Thursday. Mourners carried posters bearing image of the Raisi foreign minister, Hosseini Amiro Abdullahian, the Friday prayer leader of Tarish city, and other officials who were also killed in the crash. Taiwan is paying close attention to interaction between the Vatican and China. The East Island foreign minister said on Wednesday, adding that China had repeatedly violated a 2018 agreement on the appointment of bishop. The Vatican, which only had formal diplomatic ties with Taiwan, would like to establish a permanent office in China. A top diplomatic Cardinal Petro Tarin said on Tuesday that it will be a major upgrade of the diplomatic relations. The Vatican is one of only a dozen countries to maintain formal diplomatic ties with Chinese claim. Taiwan and Taipei has watched nervously as Pope Francis seeking to improve ties with Beijing. Responding to Perlin comments, Taiwan's foreign minister said it continues to promote cooperation with the Vatican and the Catholic Church in fields such as humanitarian assistance and jointly defends the core value of religious freedom. We understand that the Holy See hopes to promote the freedom of belief and right of Chinese Catholics. And has publicly expressed its desire to send representatives to China many times, he said in a statement. In the 100 years since the first Chinese snub was held in 1924, China has clamped down on religious freedom, the ministry added, and has repeatedly violated the 2018 agreement on appointing bishops. The ministry called on all nations to work together to urge China to stop its violation of religious freedom and basic human rights. Taiwan's Deputy Environment Minister Shai Wan-cheng led a delegation to the Vatican seminar on climate change this month, which meets Pope Francis, demonstrating the deep friendship between Taiwan and the Vatican, it added. It also said the Vatican sent an envoy, its ambassador to the Philistine, Charles John Brown, to Monday inauguration of Taiwan's President Lai Ching-te. Hopefully, we will be getting your continued support. Outgoing President Tsai Ing-wen told Brown during a meeting in a presidential office shortly before the event. The Holy Father sent his warm greeting to you, Brown replied in comments carrying on a live TV. China said Taiwan is one of its provinces with no right to state-to-state ties, a position the government in Taipei rejects. Japan has lodged a protest against the Chinese ambassador extremely inappropriate comments relating to Taiwan's chief combat secretary Yoshimasa Haishanshi said on Wednesday. Hu Jianzhong, the Chinese ambassador in Tokyo, said on Monday Japanese people would be dragged into the fire if they took part in the forces plotting to support Taiwan's independence and split China, according to Japanese media reports. We consider it to be extremely inappropriate for an ambassador stationed in Tokyo to make such a comment, and we have immediately lodged a serious protest against it. Haishi, the top governor spokesperson, told reporters at the regular news conference. Haishi also reiterated Japan's position that Tokyo's expects issues surrounding Taiwan to be resolved peacefully through dialogue. A senior Chinese Communist Party officials plan to visit Tokyo this month to meet with leaders for Japan's ruling parties and discuss resuming regular talks between the parties for the first time since 2018. Japanese broadcaster report on Wednesday arrangement has been made for Liu Jiangcho, who led the Communist Party's body in charge of managing ties with foreign political parties, to travel to Japan for a meeting on May 29th. He will talk with the Liberal Democratic Party's Secretary General Toshitsu Mogi and Natsuo Yamaguchi, the chief representative of Junior Coalition Party Kametu, among others. They are expected to discuss the resumption of consultative meeting between senior officials of the other two countries' governing party, which used to held around once a year but have not taken place since 2018, the broadcaster said. Representative for the LDP and the Kamelito declined comment. The CCP did not immediately respond to the request for comment. Ties between Asia's top two economies have been strained by issues including Tokyo's concern about China maritime activities in the East and the South China Seas, and Belgian protests against Japan's release of treated water from the crippled Fukushima's nuclear plant into ocean. Louis' visit is set to come on the heels of plans trilateral summit between political leaders from China, Japan, and South Korea, expected to take place in South Korea early next week, the first such summit since 2019. Liu has kept a busy schedule since taking up this post in 2022, meeting with officials from more than 120 countries, including holding talks with U.S. Secretary of State Antonio Blinken in Washington this year. That has struck expectation that the former ambassador and the ministry spokesperson is being groomed to the China's next foreign minister. The Nepali Sherpa guide trooped to summit of Mount Everest for the record 30th time on Wednesday. An official said its second ascent in 10 days. Ordinary climbers are known to take several days to climb the summit of ever multiple ascents in a short time. Camerita Chape 54 reached 8,849 kilometers. Tourism officials came live, Gotham said. Camerita had climbed this park for the 29th time on May 12. He broke his own record, his remark in this mark is 30th ascent to the top of the wall. Gotham, chief of the Expedition Monitoring and Facilitation Field officials at the base camp, said in a post on a social media website X. Camerita first climbed Everest in 1994 and has done so almost every year since, expected for the 3 years when authorities closed the mountain for various reasons. Another Sherpa climber has climbed Everest 27 times and the most summit after Camerita. Mountain climbing is a key tourism activity, source of revenue and employment in Nepal, home to 8 of the world's 14 highest peaks. Details of Camerita climb earlier on Wednesday were awaited, officials said. The chairman of one of Nepal's largest media group was arrested after a complaint of the discrepancy in their citizenship card, police said on Wednesday, drawing criticism from the political leaders in the Himalayan countries. Kalimlaj Soruhiya, head of the Kimtipo media, said, which publishes the widely read Nepali Delhi Kimtipo and also owns a radio station and TV channel, was arrested on Tuesday at his office in Kathmandu after a complaint that lodged with the Dausia District Police in southern Nepal this month. We have received a complaint that the member of the citizenship card is the same as that of the citizenship card of another person. Dausia District Police Information Officer Raja Awad told press. He was arrested pending an investigation and appealed in court on Wednesday, police said. Soria said he was not guilty as the number of the citizenship card is generated by the issuing authority. He said the arrest was an act of vengeance following reports in the Kantipo newspaper that the Deputy Prime Minister in charge of the Home Ministry, Rabi Lamichahan, had allegedly taken large amounts of money from small businesses when he was a television show presenter before joining politics. Lamichahan, who has denied the allegation, was immediately available for comments. Political leaders have criticized the arrest. It appeared that the Home Minister was acting in a way of vengeance, said Nepali Congress spokesperson Prakesh Sharan Mahat. You are watching international news on Atlantic Television Network. We'll return after this break.
As Morrison Communications Limited proudly presents Children's Day Celebration 2024.
Arts. La Small Hotel and Resorts, number 9, Rumukalabo off Waterlines, Basta, Port Harcourt.
On Saturday, May 25th, starting at 8 a.m., inter-school march past competition,
Dance competition, drama competition. Parents, teachers and children alike, don't miss out on the fun with Uncle Clown, Bouncing Castle as we cut the Children's Day cake. Admission is just 2,000 naira per child. For participation and sponsorship opportunities, call us now 0806 673 8689 and 0810 634 1777.
This event is proudly sponsored by the Last Mall Hotel and Resort with Atlantic Television Network and 99.5 Wish FM Port Harcourt, Lesuka Event Center, Gate Place Hotel, 8 Ball Hotel and Lounge, Oma Studio, Osgia Table Water.
Remember that every child is unique. See you there. This event is managed by Pace Expressions Arts.
Special guest appearance, Hilda Dokubo, Children's Day Celebration 2024.
and Canada will gather in the northern Italian lakeside town of Stresa on Friday and Saturday. G7 negotiators have been discussing for weeks how to best exploit some 300 billion euros dollar worth of Russian financial assets such as major currencies and government bonds, which were frozen shortly after Moscow invaded Ukraine in February 2022. The United States, either through issuing a bond or more likely granting Ukraine a loan that is said would provide it with as much as $50 billion in the near term. However, many legal and technical aspects need to be hammered out, meaning a